We had a discussion about forms regarding how to create HTML forms, how you can able to create HTML, creation of HTML forms. It is a very important topic, sir. Sir, without these forms, there is no chance of developing web application. Sir, it's a very common to have. Very common to have, several forms: login form, inquiry form, registration form, next and after that like confirmation. Like there are multiple forms are available. Sir, how you can able to create a form, sir? Just by using form is the tag. Regarding what the tag name, sir? Form tag. Form itself is the tag, sir. This is the form. Okay, this is the form tag, sir. Sir, in this tag, observe that whenever you submit this form, then automatically to which one we have to go for, sir? To which page I have to go, to which resource I have to go, that information you have to specify by using what? Action attribute. Remember that, sir. That information we require to specify by using action attribute, sir. Just basic idea purpose, let me take a small form so that you may get much clarity about this one, sir. Observe a bit very carefully about this one, sir. I'm taking test1 dot html, right? test1 dot html, like just have a look once, sir. Sir, this is about my text1 dot html, like this, right? Sir, let me, okay, like this. Sir, now all these nonsense is not required. Okay, title is also just form demo, something like this I'm taking. So form demo, like this I'm taking, sir. Now what my requirement is, let me take some h1 tag, sir. Just confirmation or login form, like this. Just I'm asking, sir, login form. I'm just taking h1 tag. Now I want to take form. Okay, just the form. Okay, what is the tags are? How you can able to create form by using form tags, right? Sir, here I want to take enter name. Just observe that I'm not concentrating on format, I'm not concentrating on look and feel, all these things. Just observe first basic idea you have to get, sir. Name. So how to take input from the user? Compulsory we require to use what? Input tag. Regarding that input tag, right? Sir, what is the type? Assume that type of input is normal text. Type of input is normal text. Sir, name itself is some name you can use. Where you can use this one? As of here, we are not required to worry much about that. In the dynamic content, there you may have value is equal to some default value. Some default values are enter name, like this I'm taking default value. Okay, that's all. It is also self-closing tag. We are not required to close. Don't worry about that. We are not required to close, or even you are closing also itself is acceptable. Okay, like sir, now what is the next thing I require to observe that this is about name. Next, similarly, I'm asking about, sir, password. Assume it is also, sir, name, enter, password, like this I'm taking, sir. Don't worry much about all these format, all these things, sir. Just I'm taking a small, okay, how it looks like. Now input type is equal to submit, like this I'm taking, sir. Input type is equal to submit, value is equal to just a login, like this I am just taking. That's all. So this is about just a small form, a small form, sir, where two text fields are there to enter name and password. Okay, sir, password is also normal text only. We know, just observe, because I'm not talking much about these things, just for basic idea purpose. Then, sir, type should be password, type should be email, type should be color, like all those things I will discuss. Don't worry about that. So input type text, something like I'm taking. Now here I have to how it looks like. Now observe a bit very carefully, sir. This is about, sir, I never going to worry about what we have. So what is the name, what is the format, all these things are not there. Just I want to enter name, sir, Durga. I want to enter password. Okay, Durga, like if I click login, now the control should goes to the next page, right? The control should go to the next page. Sir, what I want to take here is, sir, where you require to specify that information. Form action is equal to form action is equal to result dot HTML, something like this I'm taking, sir. If you want, you can take sir, if you want, you can take full form, full path, or otherwise just if it is available in the same location like this. Now sir, result dot HTML, like sir, now let me take result dot HTML page. Regarding result dot HTML page, right? Just this is the result page, like this I'm taking, sir. Inside that, sir, thanks for confirmation. Yes, thanks for confirmation. These are the results, sir. Like this I'm taking, sir. Now these are the results, like I'm taking, sir. This is about my H1 tag. That's all. What is the name of this one? Sir? Results dot HTML. Regarding results dot HTML, like this I'm taking, sir. Just observe that. Okay, this is about okay, my HTML page. Let me cross check. Is there any results.html is also there, like this, right? Okay, now sir, just let me enter name and password, login. If I enter name and password, login, immediately result page has to display. Regarding immediately result page has to display, sir. Let me cross check in my test1 dot in my test1 dot HTML. Okay, I already action is equal to result dot HTML. 1 minute, sir. Already I specified. Don't worry about that. Okay, now let me refresh. Enter name. Some name, sir. Enter password. Some password I'm trying. Yes, click like this. Why it is coming result dot HTML? 1 minute. Am I doing any mistake? Action is equal to result dot results. Okay, I'm taking results dot HTML. Don't worry about that. Just the file name got changed, right? So now enter name Durga, enter password like Durga, like this. Login. Yes, happily it's going to come. Thanks for confirmation. These are the results, like this. Sir, everyone can able to understand. Sir, if you are fill that form, submit, login, or click submit button, register button, immediately the control should go to some other place, some other page, where that information you have to specify. That thing is nothing but by default considered action. Is it clear? Everyone can able to understand what is the role of action? Action is nothing but on submit of this form, to which page you should go. That thing is by default considered action. Any doubt? Please respond. Any doubt about this one? Okay, that's it. So this is about what is the purpose of action. Okay, now we require to talk about these things, right? Remember this one. We require to talk about these. Input type is equal to text. What are various fields are there? What things will be there, and so on. Now I have one small doubt. You entered name. Correct, right? You entered name, and you entered some name value and then some password value. Now the control will comes to result page. In the result page, I have to access. Observe a bit very carefully. Hey, what is the end user entered? What is the end user entered name? What is the end user entered password? I have to read. And I have to communicate with the database. Observe that I have to read. I require to communicate with the database. Here, what is about my requirement? Read the data provided by end user, and compare with the database and validate whether these are valid or not. Like so, to read the data entered by end user and perform validation. So something must be required. That thing is nothing but backend. Are you able to understand, right? Where our Python will come in the picture. For this thing, Python will come in the picture. Everyone can able to understand, right? So if you want to read the data, if you want to process that data, then we require to have some backend. Clear, right? Yes, man. Everyone can aware. Next, assume that I want to take some Java related, JSP related code, just for basic idea purpose, right? Don't worry. Here, test one. Legend. This is input field. This is the input field. Input field. This input field is a what type? Please respond. What type? Please respond. What is the type? Hey, input type is equal to text, normal text type. Okay, well, what is the default value? What the default value? Default value is nothing but what? Enter name. Are you getting? Default value is nothing but enter name. Enter name. Sir, do you know if I send the request, do you know what is the default value came, sir? Enter name. Enter name. This is the default value. It came. Enter password. This is the default value. What it's coming, sir? Default value. So this is the first thing. Sir, I don't want default value as enter name. Durga. Now let me refresh this one. Are you getting that? What the default value is coming? What the default value is coming? Durga, like this, right? So this one is a type, and this one is the default value. No doubt at all. Okay. Now my question is, there is one more component here. What is this one, sir? Anyone can you please tell what is this one? This one is nothing but name. Name of this sir input tag. Sir, what is the name of this input tag, sir? Compulsory we require to give some name. Okay, it is a user name. It is user name, like this, right? Sir, who is going to use this name? Who is going to use this name value, username, this variable name? Who is going to use, right? In the next page, I mean results page, in Python, if you want to get the data, I want to get that data, then automatically this name will play the role. Just assume that some code I'm writing. Sir, request dot get the parameter. Don't worry, don't concentrate on that. Request dot get parameter of user name. Are you getting? Request dot get parameter of user name, something like this. But what is the value associated or provided by user for user name text field? For user name text field, like if you want to get the name, then automatically this is the way. So this name for every input tag, there is some name will be there. That the name who is going to use here in the next result page. If you want to get the data which is entered by end user in that input text field, if you want to get, then compulsory this name field must be required. Clear? Are you able to understand, right? This is similarly, boss, what is the password? What is the password? What is the password? How I can get the end user provided password value? Okay, there should be here user PWD, or otherwise simply I'm taking sir PWD. Assume that PWD. Can you please observe in the back end how I can able to get sir password? Password is equal to request dot. Okay, just observe this, sir. I'm mixing, I'm doing kichdi. I'm telling some, it is the JSP related terminology. Okay, remember request dot get the parameter, request dot get parameter password. Are you getting right? Password here, whatever name we used, whatever names you used, these things are nothing but name of the text fields. Everyone can able to understand, right? So for every text field, how many things are there? Type will be there, next and after that name will be there, and then value will be there. Value means default value. Remember that. Name means sir, by using this name only, by using this name only in the next page, sir, provided value by the end user provided value we can able to get. That's why it should be required. Next and after that, what is the type means a text. Any doubt about this one? Are you in a position to understand? Yes. Are you in a position to understand this one? So just the basic idea, purpose. Okay, sir. Now if you consider form, sir, form. Okay, form. What is about form? Okay, how many here? Very important mandatory field, action attributes are. Action is nothing but results dot html. What is the, how to define the form? By using form tag. Every form tag compulsory having action attribute. Sir, what is the value? If I'm taking results.html, what is the meaning of this? On submit this form, automatically the control will goes to results.html. Sir, form action attribute, no doubt at all. Everyone in this session got the clarity, correct? I respond, man. Everyone in this session got the clarity. Form tag and action tag. Okay, well. Now within the form, there are multiple input fields must be required. Multiple input fields must be required. Majority of the times, out of 100, 99% of the times we are always going to use input tag to get the input from the end user. Remember that, Arpita, we will discuss just a basic idea purpose I covered. Input tag we are going to use, right? Sir, this input tag, sir, compulsory contain. Have you observed, right? Multiple attributes are available. What is the first attribute? What is the type, sir? What is the type attribute, sir? What is the type of this? Is it normal text? Is it going to take if this input is normal text type, or is this input is email type, or this input is form? Is it input is password type? Like is this input is color type? Like there are multiple values are there for types. Are is it radio button type? Is it radio type? Is it checkbox type? Like multiple types are by default available. Remember that. Next, and after that, sir, name is equal to, for every input compulsory, we require to consider, okay, you require to give some names, sir. You require to use this name used by target page. This name used by target, correct or not? This name itself is used by target. Next, and after that, compulsory we are going to use what? Value. What is this value, sir? Default value, like this. So everyone got the three attributes are there for the input tag. Of course, we are going to discuss. Don't worry, we are going to discuss here. Every three tags by default will be there, sir. One is type text attribute. I mean type attribute. Second one is nothing but name attribute. Third one is what? Default attribute. Next, sir. Yes, Bhargavi. She is asking a beautiful question. Sir, I don't want to enter text data. I want to enter numbers. I want to enter numbers like that. Sir, simple, remember, whatever data entered by end user, by default is available in the text form only. Remember that, sir. Whatever data available by the end user is always available in the string form only. Even you are going to enter numbers also, type is always what? Text only. Even in your email also, in the target page, if you want to read, compulsory it should be available in the string form only. Okay, that while covering dynamic backend code we are going to discuss. Remember, right? So now here there are two more important things are there, but let me talk about type first. Sir, text. If I can take type is the text, already you aware, right? Okay, now my question is, what are various other allowed types? What are various other allowed types for the input tag? Other allowed types are, anyone can you please tell? Yes, respond. Other types are can you spell out what are various other types are allowed, sir? One is text already allowed. Next one after that, second one, password is allowed. Allowed. Next, the third one is, sir, email is also allowed. Email is also allowed. Color is also allowed. Email is allowed. Color is allowed. Next, submit is also allowed. Submit is also input only. Input type is the submit, like this. So radio is allowed. Radio is allowed. Radio button. Next one after that, checkbox is allowed. Regarding these are various, I mean, etc. There are multiple, etc. These are various types are allowed, sir. Remember that, okay? So even it is the number also, by default, Babita, even it is the number also, you are going to specify the text type only. Remember that, type is the text type only, like this. Okay, where how you can able to check whether it is the number type or not, so on, we may write some patterns. Okay, that part I may cover at the part of HTML validation, not JavaScript. In the HTML validation is also there, that part I will discuss, right? Sir, these are various things. Okay, like multiple types are available. Clear, right? Now what is the advantage if I'm taking password instead of text? What is the advantage if I'm going to take password, or what is the advantage if I'm going to take email? Just observe that. Just have a look once. I don't want to worry about these things. Password, enter something. Listen very carefully, sir. Enter something like this. I'm taking, sir. Enter something like this. I'm taking. Okay. Validations up to certain level, validations are going to take care by, up to certain level, validations are going to take care by HTML only, HTML level, but minimum validations, that thing I will discuss. Okay, enter something, input type is equal to, sir, now text, name is equal to username, value is equal to Durga. Yeah, we will discuss required. Sir, up to this is the clear, right? Now if it is the normal text type, how it looks like. Now observe how it looks like. If it is a normal text type, then I require to enter something, sir, login, automatically it's going there. Okay, like thanks, like. Now my question is, input type is equal to password, input type is equal to password. If I can take input type is equal to password, input type is equal to password, then what will happen is, now your entered data, regarding your entered data not visible. Arpita, if you enter type is equal to password, the biggest advantage what we are going to get here, your entered data not visible to the outside. Sir, my password is some Durga 123, Durga 123. Are you getting right? Sir, how it looks like? Now observe, Durga 123 is not visible because it's the password, right? Because it's the password, right? Not visible. But yes, it is called masking. Something is going to be happen. But if you go in the back end, you can ask, hey, get password, get password. Original password only we are going to get. So in the back end, it is not showing star symbols, right? Just in the front end, so it is not visible to the outside because if the password is the secure, right? That's why. So masking something is going to be happen. Okay, like star symbols or bullet symbols by default is going to come. This is another advantage if I use a type is equal to password. Clear, right? Yes, ma'am. Type is equal to text. The text data is visible to the outside. Type is equal to password. Then automatically it's not visible because it's the type password. That's why while defining password fields, compulsory you have to specify that type as the password only. Okay, like next, we can able to take email. Are you getting type is equal to what? Email. If I can take type is equal to email, most of the people are not going to use this one. Most of the people are not using this one. Just they know type is equal to text, type is equal to text, or type is equal to password. That's all. If I can keep email, the biggest advantage is, so whether your provided thing is of email format or not, whether your provided thing is of email format or not, it is going to display at the rate symbol is there or not, like it is going to be display, right? Okay, have a look once, sir. So already I entered, type is the email, type is the email, like let me here just Durga, I entered, Durga, I entered, submit, observe that, submit. Immediately it's going to tell, hey, please include at the rate in the email address. Durga is missing at the rate symbol, okay? Now I'm taking at the rate like. Sir, now please enter a part following at the rate. Oh, following at the rate something you require, sir. Gmail, I'm trying to keep. Here, Durga at the rate Gmail. Okay, so it's providing, it's accepting means up to certain level, at the rate symbol is there. After at the rate something you are taking up to that validation is going to be happen because of this type is email. Everyone can able to understand? If I can take type is equal to email, what will happen, sir? Okay, like this is the biggest advantage, right? Sir, I'm taking Ravi, submit. Immediately it's going to tell, hey, please include at the rate symbol, please include at the rate symbol, like this it's going to ask, sir. Okay, same way I want to ask, sir, radio button. Okay, radio like this I'm taking. Of course we will explain how to use with examples, so don't worry, sir. Just if it's the radio type, have you observed, right? Have you observed? Just select or unselect, select something like a radio button is going to come. Suppose if I can take type is equal to checkbox, checkbox, then automatically just let me refresh. Yes, checkbox is going to come. Again, type is equal to checkbox by default is going to come, sir. Next, if I can take type is equal to color, what will happen, sir? If I can take type is equal to color, okay, like do you know you can able to select any color. End user is going to select the color. Okay, I'm selecting some blue color, red color, like end user is going to select the color, sir. Oh, I want this type of shirt, I want this type of shoe. Select your required color. Are getting in the import, maybe a chance, required, select your required color. Boss, I want red color shirt only, or I want a green color shirt only. Something like if you want to select the color also, then you require to specify type is equal to color. But very rare the people are not using. Are you getting right? So just I'm talking about input tags. Remember that input tags, right? Sir, clear? Are you able to understand, right? I'm not sure, Vastev. Let me check. Okay. Now observe that input type is equal to color. Okay. Like what are various possible types are there? All these are various possible types, right? Text is possible, password is possible, email is possible, color is possible. Submit button already we used already in our HTML, right? If you observe, submit input type is equal to submit, because then only you can able to submit, right? Submit radio checkbox, like these are various things for the password. Okay, like that. But now, sir, why other tags are not visible? Other tags means what? Suresh. Other tags means what? Name, other values, right? You are talking. Yes, name, these kind of things. Okay, this is internally used. These things are nothing but internally used. Internally used. This is especially name internally used in the results.html. Yes, it is approximated code. Don't feel that exact code. Okay, requested get parameter of username, get parameter of password. If you want to get the data entered by end user, by name we have to access in the results.html. Okay, need not be the HTML. If you are writing this code, it should not be saved as HTML. We are going to use that, don't worry. Okay, now up to this is the clear. Any doubt? Okay, that's all. Now, yeah, Prasanna, I told right, it is not the exact code, approximated code. Servlet, JSP related terminology I used there. Okay, now there are two important things I want to take, sir. Take very special care about this one. Do you know this is also most of the people are always getting the doubt. I don't know the reason what the doubt, why most of the people are having the doubt here. Sir, here just I'm taking enter, sir, enter gender, or otherwise just enter email. Okay, enter mail, like this I'm taking, sir. Enter mail. Next, here I'm taking input type is equal to, or otherwise, sir, input type is equal to just email, type is equal to email, like name is equal to next, and after that value is equal to something like this I'm taking, sir. Something like this I'm taking. Now my question is, if you observe that seems to be it is coming enter email and then like this. There is no guarantee. Here this is data. This is the data. And this one is nothing but text box. Sir, either any link between this data and the text box? Can you please tell? No, both are independent. Sometimes it may display email is here. Okay, enter email is here, and then text box somewhere else. Are you getting? Enter text box somewhere else. No formation. What I want to do for this text box, I want to give the label. Oi, wherever text box is there, compulsory. Wherever text box is there, for that this is my label. I want to link these two things, right? So for your input elements, if you want to define label, if we want to define labels, then we should go for label tag. Are you getting that? What is the tag we require to go for, sir? Label is the tag. Okay, how you can able to define? How we can able to define, sir? Label, sir. First step, I want to create a label. What label you want to create? What is the enter name? This label I want to create, sir. I want to create this label. Okay, I created one label, sir. Label. Now, sir, for this label, you require to associate some ID. You require to associate some id for is for which purpose you are going to take. For name purpose I'm taking, sir. For name purpose, okay, like I'm taking, oh, I created a label for name, sir. This is the label. Now how I can mix, mix this one here, how I can able to associate this one to the text box. Here input type is equal to text. Input type is equal to text I'm taking. Next name is equal to some username I'm taking. Next value is equal to enter some name like this I'm taking, sir. Now my question is, where you link this label for here, where you link what you require to take, sir. Assume the uname, it is the label. What you have to take, id is equal to, remember this one, sir. Id is equal to uname. Id is equal to uname. Then automatically what will happen, sir? This label always associated with this text box. Wherever you are taking, automatically by default this label is going to come, sir. Are you able to get to define labels for input tags, maybe for text boxes, radio buttons, next and after that, like if you want, then we require to create label. For most of the people, it is the bigger confusion, sir. Make sure. I hope everyone can able to understand. Suppose if I can take like this, okay, here just let me take, sir, let me take this one. Now have a look once, it is wherever it is there, sir, this label is always there. Wherever it is there, this label is always there, sir. We are not required to take like this. Now I have one small doubt, I never checked anyway. let me cross check, sir. In the middle I'm adding some paragraph data. Oh, this is data, this is data in the middle, like this I'm taking, sir. This is the data in the middle, sir. I associate this label, right? Now how it looks like, sir? Can you please let me cross check? Gone in the middle, this data is going to come. No. Gone. You have to associate like this only, like means label followed by, yeah Malaya, we will discuss, don't worry, I will repeat again, don't worry, sir. Label followed by immediately that tag we require to take, okay, like, sir, let me repeat again. What is the attribute, for which purpose I'm using? Let me repeat again. Yes, observe that a bit very carefully, sir. If I can take, matter of 1 minute, let me repeat again, sir. If I can take enter name, next and after that, here I'm taking input type is equal to text, input type is equal to text, dot I'm taking, sir. Now the doubt is, it is the normal text, it is the input tag. Is there any relation between this one and this one? No relation at all. Are you getting, sir? It should be the label, for this input. Then how you can able to do that is with this create a label. How to create the label, sir? How you can able to create the label tag? Sir, I created label. Sir, which tag we require to use? Label tag. Sir, this is the label for which one? Okay, this is the label for some user, something like this I'm taking. Observe carefully, sir. It is just a normal variable. What is this one, sir? Can you spell out? It is just a normal variable, sir. This is the label for user. Now how you can associate this label for this input? Here I will take id is equal to user, like this I'm taking. Id is equal to user, like this I'm taking, sir. Then automatically what will happen is, sir, do you know, this is the label for this text field. How you can conclude this is the label for this text field? What is the common thing between label and the input text, input tag and the label tag? What is the common thing? Here for is there, whatever value I provided for Here I used ID. This is the identifier for this input tag. If I can take here like this, now these two things are linked. Yes, man. Malaya, are you able to understand? Yes, ma'am. How you can able to define the labels, especially radio buttons? What will happen is, if while defining the radio buttons, sir, like, are you interested? Are you interested? Yes or no? Then automatically, yes, should come, and then radio button is going to come. Are you getting? No, immediately radio button should come. Then automatically this yes should be associated with this radio button, this no should be associated with this radio button. So compulsory this yes and no, it is highly recommended to define by using what? Labels concept. Label means something like a name. Are you getting? Labels concept. How to define the label? Which attribute is there? Can you please tell what is the attribute we are using, sir? For attribute. How you can able to associate this for attribute for the given input text type is nothing but input ID itself. Here for whatever value you are taking with the ID, you require to take that. Clear? Any doubt about this one? After this, what about label? Label, yes. No. What to label with the same ID? Then automatically it may misbehave. Are you getting? So it may, or otherwise last one, recent one, maybe is going to be considered, sir. This is the way how you can link labels with our attributes. Okay. Now my next question, sir. Do you know sometimes, yes, I told right, HTML itself is going to perform some validation. HTML itself is going to perform some validation. Sir, this is mandatory attribute. Are you getting? This is the mandatory attribute, man. Hey, end user, compulsory you should provide your name. Otherwise, you can't submit this form. Then how you can able to do that? Sir, very simple. We require to use required attribute. Regarding what is the attribute we require to use, right? Required attribute. Just observe that. Required. That's all. What is the meaning of required, sir? Required itself is going to tell the mandatory. Are you getting? Mandatory, right? Required itself is nothing but mandatory. Boss, it's the mandatory. Like, let me show this one, sir. Okay, sir, this is label, enter name. Okay, like you name, text like this. At last, what we have to take, sir? At last, what we are going to take? Required. That's all. At last, you have to specify required. Next, input type is equal to submit. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to just login. I'm taking, sir. Value is equal to login like this. Now have a look once. Observe that login. Sir, I didn't enter name. Then automatically login. Then immediately, oi. What is that? 1 minute. Am I doing any mistake? No. Here just we require to use required. That's all. Required. 1 minute. Maybe not refreshed because old maybe. Yes, required is already there. Oh, required is already there. Yes, because of default value. This problem. Required is equal to required, not required. Directly just we can specify required. Because of this default value, the problem, just required is enough. Required is equal to required, we are not required. Okay. Default value is not there now. Yeah. Have you observed, right? I hope everyone can able to see. Yes, submit. Hey, please fill out this field because already you provided default value. If you are not providing value, means default value is already there. That's why, like this, right? So please fill out this field. So I'm filling something. Then submit, right? Regarding this is about what is the required attribute. Okay, one thing. Yeah. Vinod, we will come up about that. Sir, not required to keep any explanation about this terminology, right? Okay. Now, what next we require to take? What next we require to take? Here, listen carefully. Suppose I'm taking default value. Sir, observe that default value I'm taking, sir. What is the default value I'm going to take here is enter name. Enter name. Like this, I'm trying to enter default value, sir. Okay, required attribute already we covered. Default value is nothing but name. Enter name. Like this I do. Now, what is this one? Anyone, can you please tell? What is this one, sir? Anyone, can you please tell? Is it default value or not? Of course, it is the default value or not? Yes. If I refresh this one, then automatically, here just if I refresh this, automatically, sir, here you can able to see default value. Yes, enter name, default value like this. Now my question is, I want to enter name as Durga. Can you please guide what I have to do? I want to enter name as Durga. Here in this text box, I want to enter name as Durga. First, I have to click here. And then what I have to do? Respond. First, can I type directly Durga? Can I type directly Durga? Possible or not possible? No. First, we have to delete that. Regarding first, we have to delete that. So, let me refresh again. First, you have to enter, and then default value you have to remove, backspace, default value you have to remove. Once you are confirming total thing got gone, now you have to enter Durga, and then login like this, right? Is it a headache or not? Hey, is it a headache or not? Yes, compulsory we require to remove. After removing that, you have to enter means it's always a headache. It's always a headache. Whenever end user, by mistake end user has to type directly Durga. But why I have to remove this one? Remove, and then Durga. Then happily it's going to come. So it is the bigger headache. That's why default value attribute not recommended to use. Then automatically, what is the alternative? For that, we should go for placeholder. What is the attribute name, sir? Please guide. What is that, sir? Please guide. Placeholder. Remember that. What is the difference between placeholder and value? Sir, if I use value attribute while entering the value, if I use value attribute while entering the value, the default value we have to remove and then we require to enter. Default value we have to remove and then we require to enter. But if I use placeholder, default value we are not required to delete because it's not enabled, automatically it will be gone. Sir, where is the proof? Observe that placeholder. Instead of this blade thing, let me take placeholder. What is the attribute name? Can you please tell what is the attribute name, sir? Placeholder. Enter name. Okay. Now let me take two text fields, right? Okay. Two text fields I'm taking, sir. Enter name like this. Two text fields. Let me take, sir. Okay, so that you can able to see you can able to see the difference. Assume that it is the password. Now have a look once, sir. Sir, this one, first one is the placeholder, second one is value. Now see the difference. Sir, I hope, is it visible or not? I'm not sure. Can you please see the difference? This one is a placeholder means it is the disabled mode. But value means enabled mode. Now I want to enter in the placeholder place. Just a click Durga directly. Regarding, we are not required to remove something, but in the value case, first remove, and then we require to enter sir value something like. Are you able to see the difference, right? That's why instead of value, highly recommended to use placeholder attribute. Required? Are you in a position to understand? Yeah, Malaya, we will check. Up to this is the clear for all of you, right? Sir, value attribute, placeholder attribute. Value attribute, placeholder attribute. Highly recommended, placeholder attribute is the recommended. Okay? So now my question is, I keep placeholder required. Observe that. Placeholder required. Like this, right? Sir, let me save this one, refresh. Placeholder I kept required. Now, yes, are you getting that? In the case of required means compulsory you should provide some. It is not treated as default value. Remember this one. It is not treated as default value, right? Okay. Now let me remove this one. Then you can able to understand. Sir, if I can take a value versus required. Observe. Is it a default value or not? Please respond. Is it default value or not? Ray, is it a default value or not? Yes, it is itself is the default value, right? Now, sir, if I consider it is the default value, even though you provided required, will be submitted. Because the reason is it is treated as the default value. But instead of default value, placeholder like this I'm taking. If I take a placeholder, is it treated as the default value? Observe that. Login. No, it is not treated as the default value. Compulsory. You have to provide some data. Are you getting? So because of this property also, highly recommended. Better to go for what? Sir, default value, the placeholder attribute. Are you getting right? Placeholder attribute is the recommended to provide mandatory data. Mandatory data, placeholder attribute must be required, sir. Don't provide value attribute. Value attribute is the default values. If you are not providing anything, even though it is a mandatory attribute, still it is treated as the default value, right? Take a bit special care. Value, required, placeholder. These three things compulsory, more concentration must be required for this. Any doubt? Up to this is the clear? Okay, that's all. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Vasudev Reddy is asking some very important question. Sir, can we set condition explicitly, like if person is authenticated, then only we can allow, otherwise or not? Good, Vasudev Reddy. If you want to do this type of terminology, coding must be required. Only with HTML we can't do that. HTML just is going to do small kind of things. Okay, mandatory or not? At the rate symbol is there or not? So length, how much length you are taking? Such type of general validation, very small validations, my HTML can able to do that. Authentication must be required. Username and password must be matched. Then only you can come to this page. Sorry, all those things are not my job. Okay, it's not HTML job. You require something. Maybe regular JavaScript must be required. Some dynamic functionality must be required for that. Clear? Any doubt? Up to this? Sir, now required, placeholder. Next, value, default value. Next, what are various input tags are there, input types are there, like we covered. Now, yes, Swarup, can you please? Now I'm taking a bit very important, sir. How to implement radio buttons? Yes, because in our example we are going to use this. That's why how to implement radio buttons, right? That's what I will take. If value is there but required is not there, no problem. So required means mandatory. If value is there, default value will go there. Swarup, are you getting that? Default value by default will go there to the backend. Okay. Now, how you can able to implement, sir, radio buttons? Sir, can you please tell any question related to the radio buttons, right? Are you something like I'm going to ask? Are you married or not? Are you getting that? Are you married or not? Yes or no? That's all. In that there are no third answer. Are you getting that? Yes or no? That is. So don't keep any doubts in that, especially. Here I want to take, are you married or not? Like this I'm taking, sir. Just the H3 tag I'm taking. Are you married or not? Just observe that, sir. Okay. After this, some BR I'm taking. You know what is the meaning of BR? Break line. So now H3 I'm taking. Are you married or not? Married. Like this I'm asking, sir. This is H3 tag. Okay, well. Now just take a bit very special care. Are you married? compulsory here, labels must be required or not? Yes, labels must be required. Yes and no. Please guide how you can able to define. Yes, yes, sir. Please tell how you can able to define label. I forgot label. First label and then radio button we will. Label for, okay. Married, yes, okay. Ma means married, sir. Assume that for, label for married. Yes, what is the label? Yes, sir. Okay, label like this I'm taking. Label is ready. Now create the corresponding radio button. Please guide, I forgot. Input type is equal to radio. Input type is equal to radio. Name is equal to, next and after that, name is equal to value. Value is equal to, like this. Internally, if you select this radio button, what is the values are? Male. Are you getting what are the values are? Male, like this, right? Sorry. Male, like married. Like this person is married, like this, right? Okay, but here compulsory we have to specify id is equal to ma. Everyone can able to understand? Any doubt? Sir, I created a label. I associated that label for this input field. Remember this, for this input field. Okay, like now let me cross check. Yes. Okay, radio button is coming. Yes, radio button is coming. Excellent, man. Now similarly, I want to define for no also. I want to define for no, not married, sir, not married. I want to define for no also. What I will say, sir, this is value for not married. What is the value, sir? No, I'm taking. Are you getting that? Value for label for not married? No. Input id is equal to nm. Okay, radio. Value is unmarried. Like this I'm taking, sir. Now have a look once. Yes, no, like this. Next radio, just let me take another br, so that login button I will keep a bit down. Okay, well, sir, here there is one small problem is there in this. Identify that. Think a bit very carefully, sir. Yeah, Nandakishore. Think a bit very carefully about this one. What is that? Yes. Here, yes. Are you married or not? Yes. Then automatically, are you married or not? No. Are you getting that? Both the things by default are going to be selected. Actually, it has to select how many? Only one, man, only one. So sometimes I'm telling yes, sometimes I'm not telling no, I didn't get married, then I want to go for another marriage. Such type of bumper offers won't be there in our day-to-day life. Remember, are you married? Yes or no? Only one value you require to select. Only one value we require to select. How you can able to do that? Okay, you require what is the name? Here empty, like give the same name. Okay, married, like use the same name here and here. This is the radio button for married field. This married field should have either yes or no. Like this, right? Okay, now observe. Yes, I selected. 1 minute, refresh. Yes, I selected. If I select no, no, then automatically yes by default will be gone. Yes, no. Have you observed, right? At a time you are allowed to select only one thing. Then how you can able to define, sir? Okay, like this is by maintaining same name for both radio buttons. Clear? Are you able to get? Okay, Bhargavi, there are some other advantages also there for these labels, especially while inspect elements. There is some other advantages also there for the labels, right? Okay, label focusing, like there is some other advantage I will discuss. Clear, right? Are you in a position to define radio button? Yeah. Okay, now some people may ask, what is the need of value attribute? What is the need of value attribute in the radio button? Yes, suppose Who is asking this doubt? Prasanna. Prasanna, observe that. If I select yes, if I select yes, once we submit this form, now the control will goes to the backend. Now the control will goes to the backend. In the backend, I will ask request dot, assume that request dot get parameter of married, like this I'm asking. So what is the value of married? Sir, just you click this one, then which value by default should go? Sir, if you click this one, married value will go. Okay, because you specified value as the married. If you click this one, then the value unmarried will go. Have you observed, right? In the back end, so whenever you select this one, which value you have to send to the back end. That is the purpose of value. Are you getting? If I select the first radio button, married will go. If I send second radio button, unmarried will go. So just while reading this data, this value will play the role. Clear? Yeah, labels, if you are not taking labels, also, but a radio button name is the same or not? Someone is asking the doubt, sir. Yes, was there already? Even yes, no, these things are there or not, don't worry about that. Sir, names are same or not? Names are same or not? If the names are same, at a time, you are allowed to select only one value. Was there already? Are you getting right? At a time, you are allowed to select only one value only. Whether labels are there, labels are not there. Sir, you are required to select only one value means this is. Like this, right? Any doubt? Yes, correct, Arpita. In the back end, married, yes or no. It stores yes or no. Yes or no, just for front end user sake. But in the back end, married or unmarried data will be saved. Whatever values you define here, these values by default will be saved, Arpita, in the back end. Clear, right? What is the use of ID? ID means just to link a label with my radio button. For that purpose, we are using ID mapping. Any doubt? Up to this is the clear? Okay. Can I go to the next level? Just what I want to do is matter of just 1 minute. Matter of just 1 minute. I'm taking, sir, gender. Okay, like this I want to take, sir. Please observe that gender. Sir, for the gender, how many values are there? Gender. How many values are available, sir? Oi. How many values are available, sir? 3 values. Male, female, and then transgender. Like 3 values are available, right? Okay. Three values are there, sir. Other like a transgender. It's also still it is a legal only. Okay. Like now, what I want to take, sir. First here see, first radio button I want to take. Second radio button, third radio button. For the first radio button, male I want to take. Male I want to take. So first create label. Observe that, sir. The people who didn't get sir, labels concept, observe label. Sir, now I'm taking male like I'm taking label, sir. Okay. Radio button I'm defining. Input type is equal to radio. Input type is equal to radio. Next, name is equal to gender. Like this I'm taking. Next, here name I don't want to give anything. Sir, value is equal to just I'm taking male, sir. Male, like this. Sir, now my question is there, I define one text label and one radio button. Is there any relation or link between these two things? Your respond, man. Is there any relation between these two things? No. You have to map this label for the radio button. Are you getting? How you can able to do? Yes, there should be some common thing. In the label, I will use for male. Are you getting? Sir, which attribute I'm using in the label? For attribute, what is the value? M. So in the input, you have to map the id is equal to m like this. id is equal to m like this. You have to take. Are you getting right? Sir, here m and here m, because of these two things, mapping is happening. Are you getting? Because of these two things, mapping is happening. I hope you people can able to understand, right? Yes. Any doubt? Okay, like this. So first one is the same. At last I will discuss name at last we will show. Sir, now let me save this code. If I save this one, mail is coming. Okay, well, mail itself is coming. This is the label, sir. This is the radio button. Okay, like similarly, I want for the female also. Okay, can I use copy paste? Ray, can I use copy paste? Okay, sir, fm. Okay, female. Okay, fm female. Like this I'm taking, sir. Female, like sir, here fm I'm taking. Type radio, value is female. Like this, right? Now another radio button also came, sir. Came. Okay, like another radio button. Male, female. Sir, what is the male? Male itself is nothing but one label. This is the radio button. Female, radio button, like this. Next, can I copy another thing? Sir, here transgender. Are you getting right? Sir, I'm taking transgender. Okay, like this. Sir, tg. Okay, transgender, like this. Like I'm taking. Sir, now total, how many radio buttons I define? Can you please tell? How many radio buttons I define? 3 radio buttons we define, sir. Have a look once. Male, female, transgender. Now, sir, male itself is label corresponding radio button. Label corresponding radio button. Label corresponding radio button, like. Now my question is, can I select the male, female, and transgender? Sir, actually radio button property, we should take only one value. We should take only one value. But here you are taking multiple values. Are you getting me? Here you are taking multiple values. It is not. Sir, how you can able to differentiate? Can you please guide? Good. Can you please guide? Here you have to use same name for all the radio buttons. We require to use same name for all the radio buttons. Okay, name is equal to gender. Name is equal to gender. Name is equal to gender. Like this. Name is equal to gender. So now have a look. Male. If I select a male, well, if I select a female, automatically it will be gone. If I select a transgender, automatically it will be gone. Everyone can able to understand, right? Okay. Can you please guide in the backend which data he selected? He selected end user provided option is what? How I can able to get something like requested dot get parameter, requested get parameter of. Please guide what is the code I require to write. What is the name I have to access? Gender. Okay. Now my question is, if I select a male, which value will come? If I select a male, then which value will come? Yeah, this is the value will come. If I select a female radio button, female. If I select a transgender radio button, then this is the value. Are you getting? These values will be available to the back end. Next, all these 3 radio buttons are grouped with only one name. That's why you are allowed to select only one. Next, sir, these are radio buttons like a type button, type option. Next, these labels link with this radio button. For that, ID and for attributes are required. For attribute ID, link a label for the input for the radio button. Any doubt? Now the cinema is clear. I hope radio buttons. But only thing is, in the backend, how you can read this data? If you know 1 or 2 lines, then you can able to read. Happily, you can store that in the database, or you can able to use in your programming based on our requirement, right? Up to this, not required to keep any explanation. Radio buttons is clear. Next, drop down box or select box. Yes, how you can able to implement, because it's also very common thing, sir. Drop down box, or otherwise select box. How you can able to implement. Okay, how you can able to implement this drop down box. Can I take in the next session? Yeah.